Hello and welcome to this video. In this video, we are going to connect to a data source. To follow along with this lecture, the data source we are going to connect to is a CSV file. I've got it on my desktop. It's called EV Sales. So this is going to be available for you to download on the resource page for this lecture. So please kindly download it and save it onto your desktop. So it's called EV Sales for the King County. So the file basically contains data from the Washington State Department of Licensing on electric vehicle sales since 2010. I have made some edit to this file so that it only retains the data for the Kings County. To begin, I'm going to open up Excel. So I've got the Excel icon here. So I'm going to double click to launch it. I'm going to open a blank workbook. So I'll double click to open it and then click on the data tab. And then from the data tab, I click on the get data drop down. And the data I want to connect to is from a file. So there are different data sources you can connect to, but I want to connect to data from a file I have on my desktop. So it's going to be from text/CSV because it's a CSV file. So I'll click on that. So I've browsed to the location of the file. So this is the file. I'll select it and then just click on import, and that will import the file. So it's a fairly large file, so it may take a while to bring that file in. When you are connecting to and importing data with Power Query, it gives you this preview window where it displays the data that you have connected to. At this stage, the data has not been imported. So you're given some opportunity to transform the data in case you want to clean it up, you want to take some elements of the data out before you import it. So this is where you would do that using the transform data tab. But for simplicity, I'm going to load the data as it is. So I'm going to click on the load button and that will load the data. It's a fairly large data set, contains roughly about 150,000 rows of data. If we click on the data tab here and then click on the options for existing connection, you can see I've got existing connections here. You will see the connection has been identified in Excel. So at some stage, we may want to update this data. And by doing that, it will automatically flow through into our workbook. So I'm just going to click to cancel out of that. If you notice on the top, the workbook is called the default name, which is book 1 because I've not given it a name. So feel free to give the workbook a name. So I'm just going to do a file and I'm going to save as. I'm going to save the workbook into a folder on my desktop called resource file, and I've called the workbook CSV data source, so that's the name I've given it, and I'm going to click save and that will save it into that file. So you can see as I've saved it, the name on the Excel workbook has changed. You can see it's saying CSV data source. So that's it for this video. In this video, I showed you how to connect to a data source using Power Query. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.